Hey everybody, hope everybody is doing well this Monday evening. Welcome to the Monday Note. Hopefully you guys can hear me alrighty. Yes, Ron, this session will be recorded. It is actually being recorded right now. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whenever and what time you guys are watching this or recording this again. So loud and clear, glad to hear that there, Mr. Isaac, Albert, Joseph. Oh, yeah. I'm glad you can see my screen, John. That's the whole idea. So, hey, Noreen, you need to give me a phone call this evening. After we wrap up the call, we can visit a little time with you on there. Wow, what a busy couple of weeks. Dang, dang, dang. Just got back from spending the weekend in Houston, had attended and spoke for about 2.5 hours at the Lifestyles Unlimited Wealth and Passive Investment Expo. About 2,000 note investors, or real estate investors there. We met quite a few new and potential note investors. We had a couple hundred swing by the booth, which was always exciting. Just let me adjust my audio here a little bit, everybody. I'm getting a little bit of echo feedback. So give me 1 second here. Take that down. Oh, that's much better. Much better. The New Jersey event 2 weekends ago in Newark was very good as well. We met quite a few people there. They had about 200, 225 note investors there. Great group. Hotel is definitely interesting, but great people there. As always, it's great to hang out with the likes of you guys up there. You know, Shauna, Mia, just to name a few. Turn your volume up, Terry. If it's not loud on your end, you got to turn your computer up, buddy, because everybody else can hear me fine. So, all right, so let's get rock and rolling on the guts of this call, as we like to say. You guys are going to have questions as we go, so please make sure your questions are right on with what we're discussing here. If it's off topic, please save it to the very end, because we'll have plenty of time to go through that stuff, okay? And let me open up my webcam here. Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. It's me okay. Yes, I am wearing a baseball cap with a big stripping piece of bacon on it. We can thank the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs up in that neck of the woods up in Pennsylvania, actually not too far from where the New Jersey convention and Philadelphia conventions were held, I should say. I actually picked one of these up. I thought it was kind of cool. It's very relevant for what the call is going to be discussed today, about going out and killing some bacon, bringing some bacon home, versus sitting around and waiting for deals to go out and actually hunt, find, and kill your own stuff. So I've got this hat on here. It's actually one of my favorites. I don't wear it very often. It is just a cool hat. So anyway, let's dive into the information here. Whoops, somebody's got a question here. Oh, you shouldn't have said anything. Should not have said anything, Albert. I'm sure many of you guys watched the game last night. Super Bowl turned out to be the most watched television show out there. What a great game. Whether you're rooting for the Seahawks or the Patriots, the Patriots are obviously getting snowed in today for this up in Boston. But what a great game. I was happy that the Patriots won. I'll just say that. All right. Not a Seahawks fan. Yeah, if they'd have given that catch to Des Bryant, it'd have been the Patriots versus the Cowboys. Because we know the Cowboys should have beat the freaking Seahawks like they did early in the year. And we'll leave it at that. Mina's got a question here. Let's see what she got here. Root for the Doritos. Yes, that was good stuff. It was a very good game to the end. And Phoebe, yourself. All right. So today's topic is really exciting on some stuff because based on really where the market's going, it kind of goes back to what's what I'm trying to say here, how I got started in the business. And I really see this is where people are needing to be this year. Some people will tell you can't reach out to asset managers, and that's just freaking bullshit. Pardon my French, but I mean what I mean. So anyway, before we get into the meats and guts of the call here, I'm going to ask you all if you get a chance to go ahead and connect with me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Google Plus as well. Vimeo is definitely where you want to find my videos. Pinterest as well. It's important that you connect with me so you get updates and things like updates to these calls, recordings, and other things. Okay. I always like to share my goals on this starting this year, and we are rocking and rolling along with 1,000. We are working very hard to get 1,000 people through our workshops. We are actually almost 20% of the way there. Yeah, very much so. Very excited about 20% of the way there to that. And then on the asset side, we got approvals on 4 assets today. It's not quite 100. We are in the running for 177 assets as well. So if that comes through, which I believe it will, it'll be a very busy couple weeks. So upcoming workshops. We do have a workshop in Dallas this upcoming Thursday through Sunday. We're excited about it. We have my buddy Val Satir flying in as asset manager. Joel Markovich was servicing. We've got some other special guests coming in along the way that you guys will really enjoy. It's been a while since I've had a workshop in Dallas. Used to have them there pretty often, but as we got busy and started traveling more, we had to have them a little bit more centralized at home. But it's going to be another sellout. We'll have close to 80 real estate investors there. Tickets are flying off the shelves based on some of the emails I sent out today. As always, we offer the 2-for-1 special at $9.99. If you are a current or previous or active or non-active military, you are comped in as well. Also, if you've taken someone else's note class and walked away disappointed, not learning anything, you feel free to email me, let me know that, and we will comp you into the workshop as well. It is this weekend, 5th through the 8th. It's at the Embassy Suites DFW Airport South location in Irving. Say, well, tell you what, if you, I did say $9.99 is what it is on the website. If you're interested, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a $200 discount. I forgot to mention that. I forgot to edit that. So, tell you what, if you email me, we'll give you an honor of the $7.99 2-for-1. Okay? But there's the hotel. It's going to be a nice workshop. We are actually going to be meeting the night before, Wednesday, February 4th, at the same hotel. We'll be doing a meetup there, 6:30 to 9 o'clock. My friend Kimberly Banks Fawcett is also my mentoring student. She also runs the DFW Note Closers Group, and I've got it pulled up here for you guys. Dallas is a big market. Houston's a big market. So if you're looking for deals or you're looking to network with some note investors in that neck of the woods, you definitely want to go out and join the DFW Note Closers Group. So we've got 250 people plus that registered on the call. I would take the time to go ahead and register. Go ahead and connect with this group. They've got a really good, strong group, and I'm excited about what Kimberly's got going on there. We're actually helping her out with some things to get this thing rock and rolling for you. But yeah, we're doing a special group for her. Also for the my buddy Cornelius Cannon, who runs a group called Flip Dallas. He approached me about doing this. So we're going to do a combined meetup group meeting there for you. So just basically talking about the notes, the market, and how to invest in that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, go to your DFW Note Closers Group and register for that. All right. Let's pull this back up. See if there's any questions so far. Hey, Mike, how's it going? All right, Lloyd, good. You're good to go. Cool. Absolutely. All right. Great. Let's get back here. All right. If you want to connect with other note investors, we do have the LinkedIn Note Closers Group that you should jump in on. It's going to come in handy, especially with a lot of stuff that we're talking about here tonight. It's on LinkedIn. Just look for the Note Closers Group. Okay. Also, we've got episode number 9 on Instagram with the Note Nuggets of 2015. These are little short videos that we talk about what's going on in the market. You can connect with me on Instagram. I'd appreciate it, so you get little special things that are up there, maybe special freebies and other things that we're looking to do. So, tell you what, for the 10th, actually, if we have 10 people follow me on Instagram tonight, if you connect with me on Instagram, I'll send the first 10 people very special, I'll send you a special gift. I got a little special gift that I'll be glad to give to you. So First 10 people that respond on Instagram, connect with me, I'll go ahead and send you a special gift that I've got here. Special little book. It may be The Banker's Code by George Antone. It may be something by Greg Reed. It may be by the Napoleon Hill Foundation. Maybe by my buddy Tim Levy. Got some special things to give away tonight. So if you're one of the 10 people to connect with me on Instagram before the call's over, we'll make sure and get you some stuff out. All right, done. Great. All right, so let's move on here. All right. So the Monday note today's thing is all about going out and getting your own bacon. Now, if we've got any vegetarians on the call here, forgive me, but bacon makes everything taste better. And what I mean by proverbial here is going out and getting the deals direct, okay? You know, I'm originally from Minnesota. My parents are there. I grew up, though, in South Texas. And one of the things that we did is we had our own bacon because we slaughtered our own pigs. And there's nothing better than fresh meat, whether it's fresh fish you're getting or fresh beef or fresh pork loins. Fresh bacon, it has its advantages. Fresh chicken. What I'm trying to get at, everybody, is everybody likes to sit around and kind of wait for things to come to them. And in this market, you're going to find better deals will come from you being very direct, very active. I'll give you an example. Some of the deals I got accepted today came from me being very direct. Hey, got anything else? Got anything else? Bam, getting an offer within 24 hours. A strong offering. I submit 12 offers. I didn't get all 12 accepted. I was countered back on 9. I take that back. I got 7 accepted today. My bad. 3 of my offers accepted and 3 countered, which I accepted. Some are worth 100 plus. Some are worth like 30,000. All of them are in Florida because I do like Florida. But it's from a fund down there, and that's exciting for me. I love seeing this stuff. You know, love getting deals accepted because it builds my portfolio, builds my wealth. Literally, this will be worth $250,000 to $300,000 in profits on these 10 deals. So we come across stuff like this all the time. If you've got money you're looking to invest and joint venture with us on and want to joint venture with us, we can definitely help you out with that kind of stuff. But anyway, the deal here is to go out and find your own bacon versus sitting around waiting for listing websites or exchanges up things, to literally be active by reaching out to the asset managers, okay? And let me give you an example. A good example is a lot of us are like, well, I'll just kind of I'll wait to meet people online. And that's not efficient. So like a good example is I went to Houston to the Lifestyles Expo this weekend. You know, there was about 2,000 investors. I had a very active booth. There was things I gave away during my 3-hour presentation. All right? I brought in people to spend some time and be able just to visit with people that are interested in finding about notes. I brought in Kimberly Banks Foss. I brought in Robert Woods. I brought in Chase Thompson. Stephanie Goodman was my right arm, was there. So it's a good group of 5, knowledgeable note investors that are out doing the business on a regular basis. And that's what you want. But we went out to find investors. We went out and we paid money to have a booth. We paid hotels. We paid all that stuff. Sometimes you have to do that. Now, the good thing about reaching out to bank asset managers, if you've got email and a phone, you can do this, all right? This is not difficult. You don't go down and see a lot of times. I mean, you can, but for the most part, you're going to reach out directly, okay? Let me give you an example. I've got some, Venus, you're on the call here. You're in your wonderful crew of friends in Anaheim there. You guys are definitely interested, and I'm looking to move operations probably to Puerto Rico just based on the tax advantages. So I'm actively having to go out and find resources for that. Well, luckily, it's some of it's presenting myself, but literally, hey, I'm going to go out here. I'm going to go out to save more bacon with the tax advantages there. I'm literally going to go take work. I'm just not going to sit around, okay? So a lot of it comes the same thing with asset managers. I don't know if I'm kind of wandering here a little bit. I may be, so if I am, I apologize. Sorry, Venus, if I am. You've got to be direct on reaching out to asset managers, what I'm trying to get to. So let's do that. So how do you reach out? Where do you find asset managers? Where do you find the Gordon Geckos of banks to give you, to show you, point you in the right direction, okay? Point you in the right direction to find assets. Well, if you've got direct bank contacts or like VPs or inside the bank, not your traditional retail branches, like you're not going to go down to the corner of Wells Fargo or Chase and they're going to tell you, oh, yeah, I've got notes for sale. That just doesn't happen. Okay? Just not going to happen that way. But you can reach out to some of those guys that are interior, smaller banks that may have stuff. Okay? You can also use Lane Guide. Now, Lane Guide, let me pull this up for you, has some tremendous resources for you. All right. We'll close that down. Oh, also, everybody, if you go to Vimeo, my Vimeo account, I meant to mention this earlier, and subscribe, you'll be alerted of every new video we upload to there. Okay? So let me pull up Lane Guide here. Lane Guide's got some great things. If you're not taking notes, you better take notes now. I'll give you an example. I was being in New Jersey 2 weeks ago. I had a friend of mine, Lisa, doesn't really mess around with first, but she buys seconds. She invests in second mortgages. So she's like, Scott, how can I find some deals where others aren't looking? How can I get outside of the three main sources to track down deals? I said, well, use Lane Guide. Log on here. It's about $150 a year. It is well worth what? Come on. Yes, it is safe. What? What is wrong with my internet? Yes, thank you, Stephen. Hang on here. Come on. Clear up my stuff here. Okay. So I got to log back in here real fast. I don't know what my freaking login is. Okay. So I'm logged in here. You connect with me on Instagram by looking for Scott Carson. One Scott Carson. Okay. No, I don't use Firefox. I hate Firefox. It does not work all the time. So let's stay on track. Anyway, so once you log into Lane Guide, it's got some of these great tools down here to help you reach out to different asset managers. So like one of the big things you can do right off the bat is click on the REO Asset Manager search here. That'll take you here. Now, let me make a big clarification because later on I'm going to say don't say REOs when you're calling. The way Lane Guide has things set up is they view asset managers on the REO side and the note side, both under special assets, okay? So you look for residentials. Let's say you're looking for stuff in Florida. All counties, show primary department here. This is what you want to do, special asset department for Florida. All types, that's fine, and hit search. Now, as you can see here, this gives you a huge list of banks. First United Bank, Academy Bank. These are all banks that are lending in Florida. Whoops. Let's try this again. I click back. What's the nice thing, it gives you names, phone numbers, emails on a lot of these. Now, yes, some of these will be on the REO side, but a large chunk of them are going to be on the non-performing note side, okay? And so if you just reach out to a lot of these, there's a lot here. You can see my little cursor up on the right-hand side keeps going down here. But that's a lot of assets, a lot of contacts, right, everybody? So it's a numbers game. So if you can, this list does not export. You have to copy paste it and save it to text. It takes a little while to clean up, but when you've done it, it does help. Like I've pulled the top 12 states asset managers on here in a spreadsheet, and one of the things I do on a regular basis, I email out to asset managers. Okay, so I've got phone numbers, I've got direct emails, all that good stuff. Sorry, David, you guys all hear me pretty good? Frank asked the question, how do we know if the bank is selling notes? That's a great question, Frank. I'm going to cover that in a second here. Obviously, one of the big things people always struggle with is, well, do I reach out to the banks or do I jump on like the FDIC.gov to see who's selling what? And you can use a service called Distress Pro that Brett Palumbo has. Brett's a buddy of mine. What Distress Pro does, it looks at the quarterly reports from these banks that follow the FDIC, and it tells you, hey, their percentage of this, the reserves of this, they fall into an area that looks like they may have notes available for sale. So that's one route you could do. You could spend all this time researching and then reach out. Personally, what I like to do is I like to make a list of about 2,000 asset managers, okay, send an email out and see who actually opens it up, and then follow up with those people, okay? Because those that have stuff will respond and say, yes, I have things, or I don't have anything at this point, okay? My whole goal, though, is I want to get their name, phone number, email, all that good stuff, those three main things, name, phone number, email, so I can reach out on a regular basis and can drip market campaign, do something once a month, you know what I mean, once a quarter at the least, okay? No, there's not a free version of Lane Guide, Alan. You've got to actually go ahead and purchase it, all right? Okay? This is important for you. Frank asked the question, do I email through MailChimp and track? Yes, exactly what I do. Now, I've got it pulled up here for you. A recent campaign we did out here. We got a couple different lists in here, okay? What's great about campaign or MailChimp is you have multiple lists. So I'll give you an example here. This pulls up. Like I've got some banknote funds, some different notes, some mortgage bankers lists I pulled, 2,000. Some Lane Guide special asset managers, actually more than 429. People that I met at St. Louis REI Expo, different Dallas investors, some people at the Baltimore REI Expo. I got a whole different variety of lists on here, okay? But my campaigns, if we go back here, I can create an email campaign that goes out to my list here. Hang on. Take my hat off. I think it's my bacon hat's affecting my talk. Is that better, everybody? Okay. Yes, Leon, there will be a replay. So, I've got, like, here's an email I sent out to asset managers. I have on one list 3,400 asset managers. Okay? I got a 17.7% open rate. Basically, I had 545 people open it, and then 9 people actually click on a link. Now, I got a couple emails out of this. Yes, we've got stuff. No, we don't have anything. All right? Now, I sent this out December 1st. It's right before my mastermind. I got responses right at the end of the year. Okay? They said follow back up with. Now, I've also, give you an example, I got a list of email asset managers via an email from Capital One that I reached out to, and I had 21% of people, almost 100 out of 534 people respond as well. I've also got a list of mortgage bankers that are licensed to do business in Texas. I had a 15% open rate on that as well. So you see these are different lists that I send out on a regular basis, which leads to profits and assets coming in. I'll give you an example. I was on the phone with the head asset manager for Fifth Third Bank. I believe it was Thursday afternoon or Friday, right before I headed to Houston. And a nice little discussion with him. It was Friday, actually. And Yaklin is his name. He was like, oh, I get your emails all the time. I stay in tune. How are the workshops going? It looks like you're closing a lot of assets. When you're in Tampa next time, give me a phone call and we'll grab a drink or dinner or a night out in town. I look forward to visiting with you some more. So he's like, well, we don't have anything right now. We should have some in the next month and a half on the commercial side, because that's what he handles, commercial notes down in neck of the woods. So this is where you post. Now, would you guys like to see what the email looks like? All right. So I'll share that with you. Okay. Hang on here. All right. All right. I know you want to see it. Hang on. Jack, the highest, let's see, Jack asked the question, what email content have you used that is the highest conversion rate when creating your asset manager list? I use a service to send this out. Now, I use MailChimp just for my asset managers because I like the tracking on the stuff, okay? So let's pull this one here. If I view my report, so you can see what kind of report that gives you. All right. As you can see, the title, that's the list here, and the subject, we want your lazy assets. Anytime I can do something different than just, do you have anything available? We want your assets, we're buying this quarter, those kind of things. So what's great is you can see the 24-hour performance. We have a lot of hits over the first 24. Actually, the first hour, so about 5 p.m. that night. Gives you the links that they clicked and those people that opened it up the most. Where the location was. I can literally go back in here and click on the 545 that opened it, and you can see emails, phone numbers of those that open the stuff up. So it makes then for a very warm and friendly phone call afterwards. Hey, do you have anything? Are you looking to move anything? That kind of stuff. That makes sense? Let me take you back to what the actual email said. I'm sorry, the audio's a little choppy. I think the internet's a little rougher right now. Obviously, it looks like that way with this. Take it forever to download. So give me a few minutes here, everybody. Yes, David, I'm taking the asset managers from a lane guide, cleaning the spreadsheet up because it transports over as a text. It doesn't let you download it. You've got to copy, paste it. And then I reach out, upload them to MailChimp and send out. So here's the email. Do you have any assets you're looking to move this quarter? It looks professional. I got my photo, my regular logo on here. You want your assets, help us help you clean up your Q4. Want to drop you a quick email, see if you had anything on your books that you might be looking to move before year end. If you aren't the correct person to talk to in your organization, I'd appreciate it if you would just forward this over to the correct party. We've been actively buying first liens on residential property since 2007. We invest most of the major markets across the country, and we're looking to lower valued assets below $100,000 in fair market value on the residential side and sub $1 million assets on the commercial front. You can see we fund over this, the states we're buying. We also talk about my mastermind group to give a little bit more validity to how much we're buying, okay? We can close before Christmas. We had our mastermind come in, so I get a photo of that, and then some photos of previous masterminds of people and some of the deals that people had closed or we as a group closed. Now, important thing, if you click on my face, it takes them directly to my LinkedIn profile, okay? And there's a little bio on there what I'm doing, okay? All right, so the question is here, when banks offer you a tape, are you buying the whole tape or can you buy just a few? Usually they'll let you cherry pick, Robinson. Usually they'll let you cherry pick. Some want to move things, it just depends how desperate they are. What are they looking to do? I mean, they got a lot of stuff available for sale. Some may want you to take a tape down. Others may want you just to cherry pick. Anytime we've dealt direct with banks, most of the time it's been cherry pickable. Now, some may want to just move a whole. I'll give you an example. If you're dealing with a larger institution on the residential side, they may have a tape of assets, maybe especially with residential. They may want you to move the entire thing. They may want you to buy the whole thing. If it's commercial, you should always be able to cherry pick the commercial assets. But if it's residential side, it's probably 50-50 on, depending on whether their situation and whether they're moving stuff. On a pool basis, a carve out, or cherry pickable. Christina, I have no idea what the average list. It varies. Some could be 2, some could be, I've seen pools over 1,000. It just varies and depends on what the asset manager has available for sale. Well, if you see obvious crap in the tape, you don't bid on that stuff. You got to realize, guys, if they want the whole tape sold, you're going to take the ugly and shitty with the good. That's why you're getting this at a discount, all right? Questioner Phoebe says, I'm finding more and more people have some sort of platform versus a tape. So don't have anything to download. You have to tell them what you want and where you want those. No offense, Phoebe, you're dealing with joker brokers. I would not waste your time with people that say, oh, tell me what you want and I'll go find it. That's bullshit. Don't waste your time with them. Pick up the phone. Don't be lazy. Not saying you are, but if you fall for that, you're never going to find anything. That's why you're disappointed. You're dealing with joker brokers out there that don't have anything. Oh, we've got a platform. Bullshit. No, you don't. Just send me the list of what you got. Okay? Does a more basic text type of email work to send to an asset manager, Albert? No, it does not work well. You want to look professional, man. You don't look like you're a realtor working at home. You want to look like you know what you're talking about. You want to look professional. Don't send it through Gmail. Don't send it. I mean, if you have your own, like at WeCloseNotes.com, like if you don't, like Scott at WeCloseNotes.com, if you've got that email, it's fine. But I send it out here because if you just send it out through Gmail or Yahoo or AOL or God forbid some other little small email, you're not going to be able to track who opened what. And depending on what your signature looks like, you know, your email signature at the bottom, you may have a million things. I have one guy send stuff out, and it's got like 3 different multi-level bullshit things on the bottom. And I'm like, dude, nobody's ever going to take you serious because it looks like you're selling soap, vitamins, and whatever. You're not an asset manager. You're an ass manager. All right? You're an idiot. And it's just like, come on, man. And he sends it out, and he carbon copies everybody on his list, and like you just gave away your whole database, bud. What a waste. All right? And the guy doesn't listen. I've emailed him 3 times, dude, don't send me this stuff. There's no way for me to unsubscribe. All right? But thanks for your contacts. Okay? That's the biggest thing I can say. Use something, MailChimp, Benchmark, Constant Contact, something. You're in marketing, everybody, whether you want to or not. Use something like this. If you don't use this, go do something else. All right? If you're not reaching out, building contacts, taking your database out. I mean, you guys got several emails from me regarding this webinar. You know how many emails that went out to? I sent one out last night, went to 25,000 people. I sent another email out today. Those that didn't open it by 3:30 went out to another 20,000 people. But that's why I've got 250 people on a call. So that's the thing to keep in mind. I get like 10% of people on a call. I take that back. 1% of the people I emailed out, and I probably will have 5% on the call with me tonight. All right? Look, Robinson, quit worrying about stuff. Robinson, yes, but if you don't have enough funds to cover the whole tape, will they allow you to work with OPM? Yes. Come on, man. Yes, they'll let you raise. You're gonna have to use OPM. You're not going to use your own money, my friend. Okay? Yes, they don't give a rat's ass. They don't need the money season. They just want to get their money for the deals. They don't care where it comes from, as long as you get a wire for it. Okay? Frank asks a question. Do you call the people that open your email, or is it only who contacts you? You know, a lot of times I don't have time to follow back up, but the smartest time we do see who opens stuff up and make a phone call. Hey, you saw my email. Love to visit with you regarding it. Okay? You try to call the entire list, but you can't reach out to 5,000 people or 3,000 people in a day or two, Frank. You've got to build a relationship. Okay? All right? Okay? Well, Frank, I'm glad your nipples got hard regarding the Lane Guide and MailChimp trick. That's TMI. Okay, Kim, we're not talking about OPM on tonight's call, all right? this is all about it. I'm going to say it one more time, everybody. Stay focused on what we're talking about. This is not about raising money calls. This is about reaching out to asset managers. And if you're going to be worried about OPM, you're going to use other people's money. You're going to use private money to fund these deals. Okay? We will have a call later on, maybe Monday, maybe next in the 2 weeks on raising private capital. All right? No need to apologize. Just stay on track, everybody. Just stay on track. I'm not mad at you. Just stay on track. That's one whole webinar by itself on OPM. Okay? Just stay on track. So see the email or the questions I'm having to delete off that aren't even close to on track. People just aren't paying attention sometimes. So anyway, so you send this out. You see who's calling you. See who's emailed you. It's really nice when they email you directly. Hey, I got something, which happens. The whole goal is why we haven't made a lot of phone calls out is because we're getting stuff in. We're closing a lot of deals, but we want to up our game. You know, I want to close 1,000 deals this year, and that's probably not all going to come from hedge funds, all right? Come from a lot of direct sources, and I'm going to have to be direct to those people. That's fine. How many often do I email the banks in the target state? I try to do it once a quarter at the least. It's better to do it once a month if possible, okay? Oh, yeah, sure, I'll be glad to. So here's the email that goes through. We have funded over 15 million trades. As always, we appreciate reviewing anything you might have on your books. Please don't hesitate to give me a call personally to discuss or forward over any NDA that you need to sign prior to asset review. So then, happy holidays, bam, and that's it. Yeah, Todd. I wouldn't be showing you my email if my email campaign didn't work. I get direct tapes, direct assets, and maybe one, it may be 100 from bank asset managers. Okay? Yes, I've been on all the time. I have asset managers call me with one-off deals. Hey, I got a deal we're looking to move. All right? I wouldn't be spending my time on this if this shit didn't work. All right? It's Monday. I'm fired up. Okay, a little cup of coffee here. Been working all day long. It's about bringing home the bacon, all right? It's all about the bacon, everybody. I know how to make the bacon come in, all right? I stand so much by this that literally in 3 weeks, I'm going to be in Orange County, and I got about 15 of my mastermind students getting together and make phone calls out to asset managers for 4 days, okay? Look, Todd, if you're worried about note school, go back to note school, all right? There's one thing I can't stand, and note school will tell you, oh, you can't deal with banks. You know the reason? Hang on here. I'm going to share a little thing. Note school likes to tell you people don't deal, you can't get it from the banks, you have to deal with the hedge funds. The reason they want you to only deal with the hedge funds is they get a kickback on all the hedge fund notes. Whoever runs note school, they get a kickback, and they want to bump things up so they make more money, okay? That's exactly what happens. All right? That's the biggest thing. Those people, never deal with banks, never deal with banks. Bullshit. You can deal with banks. Let me show you something here. All right, I'm fired up, and I get tired of people, and I'm not mad at you or anything. There's just a lot of lies going out there, and I get tired of hearing stuff like that. Let me give you an example here. I've got this stuff in my old files here. No business. You see these banks here? You see these names here? Just a few of these as I'm rolling down here. These are all banks I've signed non-disclosure agreements with in the last 5-6 years. Okay? Some of them are hedge fund, but most of them are all banks, as you can see on here. All right? Banks. I'm buying stuff from these people. I am on their buyers list. They may have one asset a year. They may have 1,000 a year. Okay? Anybody tells you that bullshit that you cannot deal direct with banks is a flat-out liar. Okay? And I will meet them anywhere and punch them in the face for lying. Okay? The reason they don't do it, or they say you can't do it, because they've never done it. So they're one of these people that will say, oh, I can't do it, therefore it can't be done. Bullshit. They either can't do it, or they want to control people that come to their workshops or come to them So, oh, no, you can't buy from them, but you can buy from the hedge funds. And, hey, Mr. Hedge Fund Manager, I know you only need to get 15 cents in the dollar, but we're going to charge these people 30 cents in the dollar, and I'm going to take the extra 15 cents as profit. Is that okay with you? Of course it is with the asset manager. And people, hardworking people, get sold shitty assets at way overpriced. Oh, I'm fired up. Sorry. I probably should be saying this stuff, but I don't care. Sorry. I see that, you know, it's people will tell you one thing and they'll sit there and they'll lie for their own benefit. And I hate that. Okay. All right. Do I buy from hedge funds? Is Val Satir a buddy of mine? Yes, he is Watermark Exchange. I will help promote that. Okay. Yes, Val marks up his stuff sometimes, but he's making a profit. Okay. Sometimes he's got good stuff. Sometimes he's got bad stuff. You run that risk when you deal with somebody who's gone out and hunt and killed. They're on their own. If you're not going to reach out and hunt and kill on your own, you're never going to do it. Val had a tape with SN Servicing. They're a major servicing company that sells assets. All right, from time to time. Some of it was good, some of it was bad. All right. Oh, I'm taking a deep breath. No, David, I will not send a couple examples out. You've got to come to my workshop to get that. All right. You got to come to the workshop to get examples, and there are several examples in my workshop for that kind of stuff. All right? No, this is the first cup of coffee I've had today, Robinson, actually. It's not even half empty. It's just funny because I deal with people. I hear that all the time. Oh, you can't call banks. You can't call banks. You know what? You can call banks. All right? I wouldn't stand by what I say if I didn't do it. All right? For $150, you can get asset managers to call you back as long as you reach out to them using Lane Guide's one of those things. Okay? Good. Okay? All right. We won't talk about who's a waste of time, but thanks, Gary. All right. Let's get there. So here's a way to find asset managers. Let's talk about some other ways to find asset managers, okay? LinkedIn. Okay? Let's go to LinkedIn. If you type in special assets on LinkedIn, you're going to get a whole bunch of people with this in their profile, okay? Some of them are going to be students of mine. Some of them are going to be people that are note investors. A lot of them are going to be banks. Paul Yates, he is special assets for Zy. They are a hedge fund, okay? But Margaret DeWaskin, she's a head of special assets for North Community Bank, all right? Scott Roy, same thing, special asset manager at First State Bank, all right? We keep going all the way down here. All right. Let's go to the fourth page. Waterstone Bank, Amanda Bush. There's my buddy. He's actually not at West Coast Direct. He's actually, he isn't updated, but he's actually at Fifth Third Bank for the commercial side. Okay, you can see. Vice President Special Assets Group at Fifth Third Bank. I talked to him on the phone. Okay. If I got to pull up an email to show that I have a conversation with you to prove somebody wrong, I'm glad to do it. Desi's a student of mine. Great guy. John Pappas. Great guy. Far East National Bank. Steve Hodge. Okay, First South Bank. You can reach out to these asset managers. Now, one of the big things you need to have, if you're reaching out via LinkedIn, you better make sure your LinkedIn profile looks complete, okay? And looks professional, not some shitty thing with no response, okay? It helps me that I have been an expert on this stuff, all right? You know, I've got some workshops on here. I've got some PowerPoints so people know what I'm talking about, right? Some history on things. Question. No, John, he didn't screw us. The guy that had the tape for him. Paul Yates did. No, the guy that sent the tape. Paul was very upfront in things. Actually, had a nice conference call with Paul. He didn't screw us. Somebody else did, John. Okay. Hey, I'm direct, man. You either like me or you don't like me. I don't really give a rat's ass either way. Prefer if you like me, but if you don't, I'm comfortable enough, confident enough to know that I know what the hell I'm doing. So, You can reach out via distressed assets here, special assets. Let's do secondary marketing. $737,000 people results for secondary marketing. Let's just go ahead and click on this. They got Candy Blagg, Joe Graff, Tad Hensley. I know Tad personally. Yes, he works at a bank. Anthony Saucedo. Okay. $737 people. That's just a few. All right. That is just a few individuals who have that need to reach out to. Now, are they all going to respond to you? No. All right. They're not going to respond to you. Okay. Now, mortgage bankers. You can reach out to mortgage bankers. And what I mean by mortgage bankers is people who actually have a warehouse line. Okay. If I didn't believe that you could reach out to banks, not branks, Distress Pro wouldn't exist if that wasn't the truth, everybody. Okay? You can find mortgage bankers by Googling mortgage bankers. Texas, on the Texas Savings and Loan Department. What the hell? Let's show it to you. I'm going to close that down because it's taking up a lot. So Texas Savings and Loan Department. Click on here. You can download list of licensees right there. Company roster download. This is the kind of stuff that I go through in my workshops, everybody. We spend a lot more time on it, make it a lot more efficient. I'll show you how to contact people off of LinkedIn, what to say, what not to say. Give examples of emails to respond to people, how to write out to them, all that good stuff. So here's a list of asset managers. Bam, look at that. Now, on some of these, let me just filter this here real fast. All right. So you see you got mortgage banker registration. That's what you want to call. Okay. Probably not credit union, not an auxiliary mortgage loan activity, probably not a financial services, not an independent contractor. Servicing mortgage company license is mortgage banker registration. There you go. That cuts the list down dramatically to you. But you can see we've got close to 2,000 contacts on here. Banks are the company name, address, phone number, and an email of usually the licensing person or the owner of the company. So this is a list that you need to make a phone calls out to reach out to people. Some will have it, some won't, but there's plenty on here that will. And I've used this list and gotten assets sent to me. It was much smaller list. We're talking a single deal, sometimes 3, 20 at some point. But we've used this list to make things happen. Question? This is the list I just downloaded from the Texas Savings and Loan Department on a licensee list. Okay? John asked the question. No, I won't be in Atlanta this year. I'll be in Baltimore and Miami. Okay? Still going to be the best run webinar all week. It's 20 plus. Thank you, Kate, for giving me saying I got good content, but I understand what you mean. All right? Literally, it's from the Texas Savings and Loan Department. Now, what's great about this list, it's people from all across the country who are doing loans in Texas. They're licensed to do loans in the state of Texas. Okay? Or companies, I should say, not individuals. But, one of the big things you got over here is as far as reaching out. Okay, who's what? Cynthia Berman, Freedom Mortgage, that's a name. Jennifer, that's a name. Aaron, Jay Marietti, Keith, Jay Douglas, Wyndham Capital. Okay? Some of these are going to have stuff. Other times they're not. Sometimes they're like, well, I don't have anything because we sell our loans off. One of the big things when you do when you reach out to people like mortgage bankers, you want to talk to somebody who's in charge of their warehouse line. Because usually they've gotten a line of credit from a larger institution, and they may have some scratch and dent loans on here. Now, some of these may be less than 6 months in default, so they're going to want a little bit more for it. Other times, they may be more motivated to move some stuff at a lower price. It just depends on how long it's on their books. But a lot of these, a lot of time you'll see stuff that's 90 days in default, 60 days, 6 months. So they're going to want closer to 60, 70% of bounce. But it's relatively a new loan for the most part. Sometimes you'll find stuff that's longer, but I'm trying to give you, these are insights to some pretty large companies who take a look at some of the stuff. Okay? All right, stick on the main subject here, Lori. You're not going to buy a hotel REO. No offense. If you've never done that before, you're not going to buy one straight up. Okay? You need experience on that. And I deal only with non-performing notes, not REOs. Okay, so let's stay focused, everybody. All right, let's go back to the PowerPoint here. The FDIC.gov is a website that most people don't really touch. Okay? And what you have here is you literally have banks that have gone out of business. All right? If you click on the complete failed bank list here, it shows you the bank that went out of business and the bank that bought them. Now, what you want to do is if you're looking for notes, you're going to reach out to the bank that bought them. Now, they may not, they're not going to be, well, usually what happens when a bank gets bought by another bank, especially an FDIC insured one, they can't sell off the old bank's assets for 6 to 12 months for anything below 85% of what's owed. So what you want to do is go down like 6 months, and this year, like September here. Okay, this is December. Closing date right here. So you can see some of the stuff like Bank of Jackson County, First Federal Bank of Florida, Edinburgh, Texas, Plains Capital. This is an example of something in Texas here. That's been about a year. September 13th is when he went out of business. So you reach out then to the First Fidelity Bank or the acquiring bank to see if they then can sell the old bank's assets off. All right? That's how you would track out this. This is the list that nobody hardly works, and it's building a 6 to 12-month pipeline. Now, Lori, you did ask a question. Sorry, the note not an REO. You can go back here to Lane Guide. One thing I didn't show you guys, you can do property type. You can hit commercial and look for commercial notes that way. Okay? You can also go down here to lending type search. Pick a state. Let's say you're looking for stuff in Florida. Lenders known to lend in that state, and pick the type of lending categories. Well, let's see here. You're looking for commercial real estate, and let's say, what else do we have here? Maybe commercial construction. Retail method, either. And hit search. That'll give you commercial lenders that are doing that type of lending right there. Now that gives you name, and it doesn't give you a name. It does give you a phone number. You've got to click on here, like American Momentum Bank. Let's just click on them here. Oh, come on. Okay. It gives you the main office number. 22 branches in 2 states. That's when you'd have to make a phone call and track down the asset manager. And I'll go through that in a minute here. Okay? No problem. Okay. So, but back to the FDIC. Do I still have that up here? If you reach out to the new bank, you need to track down assets at these old banks. Okay? They may have stuff available for sale. Palmetto State Bank, I've bought notes from them in the past. They picked up Allendale County Bank out of Fairfax. All right? Sunwest Banks, I bought from them in the past. North Shore Bank. Hamilton State Bank sold stuff in the past. First Atlantic has. Just going through here. Stearns, I know, sold stuff. Ameris Bank. I'm just giving you guys some ideas, okay? Exactly right, Todd. You do on the failed banks, you call the acquiring bank and talk to the asset managers. Now, remember, they've got a lost share agreement, so they may not be able to sell anything for 6 to 12 months off this list here. But they may have other stuff available for sale. Okay? Now, there's different rules of engagement to follow on these, okay? We should call this return on education, not our rules of engagement. But return on education is important for you guys. Hopefully this has been valuable for you. Anyway, my workshops are packed full of information too. So you're going to expect to get no's. When you're making phone calls, expect to get told no. Don't have anything right now. All right, don't have anything. Do you ever have anything? No. Do you mind if I follow up with you in the future? Yes, no. Okay? You're not, these people, these asset managers are busy. They're probably not going to call you back. So one of the big things you want to do is get these asset managers' email address so that you can reach out to them via email. Listen, I don't want to take all your time. Can I just drop you an email from time to time, touching base with you? Most of the time, that works really well, okay? Sometimes you're going to get their gatekeeper and get their email so you can drop them an email. And that's fine. It's all right. This is a numbers game. So if you make 50 phone calls, expect to probably reach out somewhere between 13, 14 contacts, all right? Out of 13 to 14 contacts, you're probably going to sign somewhere around 4 non-disclosure agreements, okay? Out of the 4 non-disclosure agreements, you're probably going to get 1 tape, 1 deal. Now, that's me making 50 phone calls to get 1. If you go over 50, like I did, like I've done before, the next round of 50, I often had a lot better success. If I followed up with these individuals, okay, because you got to realize 80% of sales comes after the 5th contact. You got to be specific in what you're saying. So if you're leaving messages, don't mention RAOs. Mention that, hey, I'm buying non-performing notes. I'm buying residential commercial. Are you the person you need to talk to? You know, I buy first and seconds. Okay? Mention you're buying for your own portfolio. Never say you're a broker or I've got buyers. Now, on the email I sent out there, I'm a little bit different category than you guys. I'm a little bit above you. Nothing against you all. Just I am what I am. I've built a name in the industry. Okay? People have been following me for a while. People get my emails. When I have hedge funds and banks contact me and say, we love your marketing. We would love to do something with you. I'm fine with that. I mean, I literally had banks hire me and come out to them to help them structure their note sales. So I know banks are doing stuff. Okay? Just takes time. Now, some banks have cleaned up their portfolio. That's fine. You're going to have to stay involved with these people. Okay? Mention you're looking for your own portfolio. Mention also that you're HAMP and HAFA certified. Your servicer's HAMP and HAFA. And I'm speaking on behalf of Land Home. They're my servicer. They're licensed in almost every state. Not every servicer is licensed in all states. Land Home's one of them that is. Some of the others out there aren't. So keep that in mind. It's important. Okay? It's better to underpromise than overindulge. You never want to say, I've got $20 million to fund every month. Nobody's going to believe you. Okay? This may be also when you say, you're not the president of the company, say, I'm a portfolio manager. We're looking for assets. We've got some money to spend behind us. Okay? Say you've got anywhere from 1 to 5 million liquid. Depending on it, they're going to ask you for markets. What markets are you buying? And say, we buy in most of the major markets. We like lower valued assets is one thing that I actually like to say. We like lower valued assets. We want to work with the borrowers to keep them in the property. We want to create win-win. We're not afraid of HAMP and HAFA loan mods because our servicers license that right to help us with that. But say, listen, give me a tape. If you send me what you've got, I'll sign a non-disclosure, get it back to you. I won't share it with anybody. You do not want to share lists of assets. Okay? Keep these for yourselves. Only deal with people you know that are closers. Do not be a joker broker because you will get blacklisted and be screwed. Okay? What I mean by wider is better than the straight and narrow. Have a wider area that you're buying from. We buy all across the country. Not, I want to buy in one zip code in Miami. Asset managers aren't going to take the time to look for that one zip code. They're too busy. Other things. They're not going to waste their time. So listen, can you just send me what you have? and I'll be glad to let you know immediately back what's interesting to us. And we'll make an offer that makes sense. Okay? Question. Dominic, it'll be on. You can download the slide after we're done. I'm not going back, buddy. All right. As always, this is be recording and download it later on. Okay. Critical component of here, and I said this earlier, is 80% of sales made up to the fifth contact. First contact may be a voicemail you leave. Second one could be an email you leave. Third one could be another voicemail. Fourth one could be a LinkedIn contact that you reach out to them. Fifth one's falling back up. You have to realize a lot of people make phone calls that never fall back up. They never, ever even respond back. So the more you can put a system in place, like maybe Tuesday you make phone calls, Wednesday you follow up with LinkedIn. All right? Monday evening after you make, or Tuesday evening after you make phone calls, you send an email out. Follow back up, hey, did you get my email? Just touching base. Maybe you take that info and put it into MailChimp so you can just drip market once a month. Okay? You have to do this on a regular basis. If you don't, you really shoot yourself in the foot. Every phone call you make, you leave a voicemail. It's important for you to do that. Okay? Glad you like it, Mark. Now, one of the biggest things is you also have to be not so crazy, I do everything. You don't want to do I invest here, 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 I invest here. That will drive people bananas, and they do not want to deal with you, okay? So it's better instead of, because what's what I'm trying to say here? People can tell if you're lying if you do everything, okay? People can tell it. You're lying. You're just wasting people's time, all right? Be focused. We buy non-performing first liens for our portfolio. You do not, okay, let me rephrase this. You will get sometimes banks and asset managers that have the unique asset, the one of a kind, the oddball deal. Do not waste your time on the oddball deal. If it doesn't fall in the main categories, don't waste your time. Oh, the $8 million asset up in Aspen. Screw that. Or a 400-acre equestrian ranch down in Tampa. No. Or the auto repair car shop in Richmond. Those are not the unique things. They're unique things for a reason because they're unique. You're not going to find a lot of buyers for them, okay? You will have time to pull due diligence on stuff. The idea is here is you're not going to run a title search for every deal, all right? You're not going to pull a BPO for every deal. You want to find out once you get a list in, hey, what are you kind of thinking you're looking to move this at? What are you looking for? What kind of color am I going to get? What color are you giving? Kind of discount? That kind of stuff, things, all right? Tom will cover that at a future time, all right? More of the due diligence stuff. Kathy asked a question, if you don't invest in many different markets, can you say that you know others that may? I would just simply say we buy in most major markets. Kathy, you know you've got a network of people that buy across the country. Okay, you've got a really solid group. So that's okay for you to know. You don't have to tell your asset manager that, oh, I've got buyers across the country. Ding, 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 ding. That sounds like you're a joker broker. Okay? Do not say that. Look, I'm buying for my own portfolio. I buy in most major, or we are buying. I mean, we as a company are buying in most major markets. Okay? Do not mention REOs. Let me say that again. If you call in and get a hold of the main corporate office and they ask what department, do not mention REOs because they'll send you to the REO department and you'll never hear from anybody there. They'll always tell you, call the listing agent. All right? Call the listing agent. This goes back, this next point is some basic stuff that most people struggle with. All right? You got to look and sound professional. If you stutter and don't know what you're going to say, write it down on a script. Write down a piece of paper. Manage your script and just learn to repeat it. Keep it short and sweet, not long. Okay? And I'm looking, yes, people can't see, but if an email you send out, make it look a professional. Get rid of the tigerlily05@yahoo.com email. Okay? You could use a Gmail account. Some asset managers, oh, you've got a Gmail account, don't take it serious. Well, use your own entity email. Get you an email. You can do it for free. Okay? The reason I say look, not just on the email, look professional, because yes, do I use MailChimp to blast out the asset managers? Yes. but I also follow up with emails out, and my email on We Close Notes looks professional. People will search you out on LinkedIn, so make sure your LinkedIn profile looks professional as well. Okay? It's very, very important. Now let's work through some scenarios with you guys, okay? Before we dive into more questions here. Actually, hang on here. I will give you this. There you go. FDIC.gov, Dominic, was the last thing on there. Okay? All right. If you're going to call, let me give you an example. Let's just do this. Let's pull up Plain Guide again. So let's say we're doing a bank search here. Okay. I call the main office here. Hit more contact deals. Sometimes Lane Guy will give you a different phone number. So if I'm calling this number, it's going to the main office. And this has 22 banks in 2 states, right? Yeah. So I'm calling the main office. I'm going to listen to a ring. Somebody will answer, and I'll go, "Hi, my name is Scott Carson. I'm with Inverse Investments. I'm looking to talk to the person that handles your distressed mortgages, your non-performing notes. Maybe you've got somebody with a title of in the special assets department, your secondary marketing, your warehouse lines. I'm looking for the person in charge of that. Your special asset sales." Now, a little disclaimer on the special asset sales side, that may be REO department. All right, some banks lump them in and call them the same. If you get there and you do get a hold of somebody, it's okay. All right, just don't say REOs. We're looking for people for the note business. You're selling your notes, selling your debt off. Okay. If they don't have, say, worst case they don't have anybody. Can I speak to somebody in your commercial note department then? Does that make sense, everybody? Looking for somebody in special assets, secondary marketing, your chief investor, credit risk desk. Those are the departments you're going to ask for. Secondary marketing is also not marketing. Marketing will send you to somebody who's not even in the same department. Okay? But the most important thing is to keep track of your phone calls. Put it on a spreadsheet. Who you called, what number you called, what time, who did you speak to. This way, if you were doing your follow-up phone calls, you'll know exactly who you spoke to. I didn't say, Sherry answered the phone. Well, hi, Sherry. Great to talk to you. I talked to you a week ago. I was wanting to see if your boss was available. I know I left a voice message and email, but he hasn't returned those, and we really like to visit with him. Okay? Bill asked a question, does the term warehouse line mean warehouse or is it jargon? It is jargon. Okay, so let me give you an example. Bill, you have a credit card with somebody? Mm-hmm. You do. Okay. So you technically have a warehouse line. You have a warehouse line, let's say, with Capital One. They give you $10,000 line of credit, right? You can go spend that money however you want, as long as you pay back that money, right? Well, in the lending side, mortgage brokers that have been in business for 2+ years, have done $5 million+ in loans, will often qualify to get a warehouse line from a large bank or a large lending institution. And on this line of credit, they can lend out and make their own loans on this line of credit. So let's say, I'll give you an example. We're mortgage bankers. We had a $5 million line of credit with World Savings. So as long as we wrote a loan, if we had somebody come in and need a $100,000 loan, as long as we wrote that $100,000 loan exactly how World Savings wanted, with credit score, debt to income, loan to value, front end, back end ratios, no foreclosures, no bankruptcy on it, they would pay us 104% of what we funded. So if it's a $100,000 loan, as long as we wrote it up exactly how World Savings wanted, we'd fund that $100,000 loan to the borrower, and then we turn around and sell that mortgage to World Savings, who World Savings would pay us 104%, and so we'd make a $4,000 profit. Okay? So, but what happens sometimes, if Mr. and Mrs. Smith that took the loan, if they went late in the first 6 months, we had to buy that loan back from World Savings. And we'd have to hold on to that loan, which is now less, is worth less than what we actually got it back, right? So we had to pay back $104, buy it back from them, and then try to sell that loan off to somebody else to make money back. And for every month that Mr. and Mrs. Smith would go late, that value starts to decrease from 100% to 95 to 90 to 85, that kind of stuff. So it loses value. So you'll have mortgage bankers out there who've made bad loans, or they forgot stuff to get signed. Maybe it's missing a signed truth in lending, okay? Good faith thing inside, something like that. That's called scratch and dent. It's a good loan, but the person that has a warehouse line maybe doesn't want to buy it because it's not totally clean. Also, you have these big lenders that would approve a loan, but then overnight they increase the FICO score, so maybe instead of being a 700, it's not going to be 720. Well, if you funded that note on Friday, now it's going to be 700 for them to buy it. Shit, you got to find someone to buy that loan off you who accept the 700 FICO. Okay? So that's what a warehouse line is. Okay? Let's see here. Stephen, yeah, drop me an email regarding that. I may have something for you. All right. But that's kind of the breakdown on warehouse lines. Now, if you're looking for stuff, you can also go to Scotsman Guide. Scotsman Guide is free. Let's if you click on the commercial edition here, hit lender search, commercial. All right, let's do this. Let's say we're looking for a hotel. Okay, say at least 1 million. Okay, as a purchase, hospitality, hit search. People that lend in Texas. All right, now you've got these banks that lend on hotels in Texas. You reach out to them. Now, sometimes these are the wholesale numbers on here, or you've got a direct email like this one here, scoleman@squareonebank.com. They do SBA loans. Okay, United Financial Group, Atlas Hospitality. Specialized in hotel lending in Western states. There you go. Some inside numbers for these center. Phone numbers, emails. Okay. Is that helpful there for you? A lot of these are portfolio lenders. Okay. So these people that specifically hold stuff in a portfolio may look to sell that stuff off. No problem, Robinson. But you do that if you're looking for apartments, if you're looking for warehouse line lenders. I've done this in the past and had some success with warehouse lines. Okay? Any questions? Thanks, Mark. Mark, did you guys see the asset I sent over on that? How do you, Frankie asking, where do you download this video? You go to Vimeo, and it'll be on my Vimeo website when I upload it and convert it later tonight. Okay. A line of credit or warehouse line is very similar to a credit facility. Yes, Tom, you're correct about that. Self-storage facilities. That's a good. Let's pull it back up real quick, Marlene. So we go back to the search here. Let's say Arizona purchase. That would be self-storage. 34 matches for self-storage. There you go. Bam. You're welcome, Arlene. Great to meet you too, Michael. All right, so HAMP certification. Joseph asked a question, what is HAMP certification? That's a home affordability modification program. That just means it's a federal modification, and your servicer needs to be licensed and they're approved for that, okay? Banks ask you for a proof of funds. Some will, some won't. What you say, if they do ask, say, we're funding with private funds, we're glad to provide a proof of funds when we submit an offering, but we're glad to sign a non-disclosure agreement up front so that we're not blasting this out. We're buying for our own portfolio. They will want probably a company bio or some information in your company. This is why having an executive summary of what you do and who you are is helpful, which is something we cover in our mentoring. But some will want your requirements in writing. That's fine. Just give me your email. We'll send you that over to you. So know what your business is. It's more important than anything else. Okay. Question here is, what source do you have for free entity email address domain? Google does that. Google will give you, if you've got, like, say it's Thomas LLC or Thomas Note Group, you can go to Google and do it. I haven't done it, but I've seen plenty of people have done it. I use GoDaddy, and it's not free. Honestly, Phoebe, though, a lot of banks and asset managers, that's a small percentage. Just be making phone calls, all right? What are the questions? Now is the time to ask what other questions you have, everybody. Let's see who's responded to the request here, huh? So follow me on Instagram. Wow, we got 9+ followers. Nice. Let's see here. Ted, Shauna, Lloyd, Kate, Jim, Jade, Michelle and True, Chris, Bob, Bill, Goon Mode. I have no idea who Goon Mode is. So, if you followed me on here, let's see here. We got, do we get somebody else? All right. Do me a favor. If you just followed me on Instagram, take a picture and email it to me, and we'll make sure and get that up. Make sure and send me your mail and address. All right? If you can't find me, that's not right. Hang on here. I'm one Scott Carson. You can view my profile here. All right, so look for one Scott Carson. You'll see my profile. All right. Let's see here. Questions. Whoops, got a lot of questions here. I know. Hang on. I know, Arlene, you're Jade Mountain. Okay. Tom asked the question, is Scotsman Guide for finding note sellers or funders? It's for Scotsman Guide is used by mortgage bankers and brokers to find what banks and companies are financing stuff. So you use Scotsman Guide to find stuff like portfolio lenders that have stuff on their books for sale. My favorite between Distress Pro and Lane Guide. Good question, John. I like Lane Guide because it gives you a lot of information right off the bat. And so I like the whole idea of splatter, throw it up against the wall and see what sticks. See who opens it up. Somebody responds. Then I can jump on Distress Pro and start looking to see who's got what. So it gives me a little bit more educated stuff. A lot of people buy Distress Pro, and while Brett's got tremendous training, a lot of people get sucked down into reading everything, and they never reach out. They're not as efficient reading out. So my whole goal when I started, and still is, to add asset managers. It's in quantity, all right? Everybody may say they don't have something, but they will eventually have something, and I want to be on that list when they do it, okay? Hopefully that makes sense, John. Ron asked a question, what CMS use you for contact and phone tracking? I use Excel and MailChimp. CRM tool, I just literally will use that for email blasts out, but literally I use a simple Excel spreadsheet when I'm tracking phone numbers. Who called, when they called, and then that's something I go back and edit very easy. A monkey could do it. Kevin, you asked a question. I'll come to an event in Chicago in April. If we've attended a seminar in the past, can we attend a future event for free? Of course you can, Kevin. All those that are on the call, if you've attended one of my workshops in the past, you get to re-attend for free. You just have to let me know. So, Kevin, go ahead and drop me an email and say Chicago in the subject line, Chicago class in April. If you've got Stephanie's email, go ahead and copy Stephanie on that. We'll get you, save you a seat in there. Well, yes, on Instagram I am private. You have to. I don't just make it public. You request me, and we'll make sure and get you approved, buddy. Of course, I'm going to approve you, Chris. Okay. You may need to go back to the email I sent out. I've got a little Instagram link there at the bottom for you to connect to. Okay. Should come up with Scott Carson thought. Email those bitches. I don't get what you're talking about, Kate. Deep dive your request. Okay. Lloyd, will see you in St. Louis, as always. You're welcome, Kevin. No, Tom, when I use my MailChimp email, it's all done there. You just have to log in and play around with it. You can design it straight up there. You don't use Publisher. MailChimp will help you walk you through all that. John, that's awesome. You're moving back to Florida. You're going to love it. I need to get back out there and get some sand in my toes. So drop me an email. We'll get you added in Miami, John. All right. So if you go to Instagram.com/one Scott Carson up here at the top, that's my Instagram email. All right. Mike asked the question, does Distress Pro show residential commercial? Yes, Mike. What Distress Pro does is it gives you a breakdown on commercial residential assets because it's literally pulling off the FDIC reports that the banks have spent in. So it'll tell you percentage of what they've charged off and all that good stuff. Nope. It's good for both. All right. Dominic, if you're not on Instagram, you're behind the 8 ball. It's time to start. You need to start pulling your ass into the 21st century, my friend. Just learning how to market and not get run over. Seriously, Instagram's kind of the new wave. You want to be up. Yes, I know it seems like it's a lot for young girls and things like that. But when I see Gary Vaynerchuk, who's one of the most awesome stuff, spend time on Instagram, it's well worth it. Question here. You read that HUD is selling $4.1 million in notes. Will those go to hedge funds, or who will sell them? HUD's going to sell that stuff off in large pools to some of these larger hedge funds. These larger hedge funds are probably going to have a large chunk they're going to like, and a large chunk of what they are buying they're not going to like. So they're going to look for somebody to buy that stuff off of. Okay? And it'll be up to either smaller hedge funds or people like you and me that can pick up that stuff out. You're welcome, Bill. Sorry, Instagram /one Scott Carson /. Whoopie-doo. Okay. You're welcome, Phoebe. No, you're not an old fart, Dominic. I know I'm older than you. So if there's half the people on here that responded, they're all older than you for the most part. You might be the youngest guy. Steve, if you need to come, that's cool. I don't care when you took somebody else's class. If you took somebody else's class and hated it, just email me what you paid. If you got a copy of your receipt, that's great, but who you paid with, and we'll comp you in, Stephen. Okay? Thanks, Marlene. Glad to hear. Alan, I'm just as honest as be. Sometimes my mouth writes a check that my ass has to cash, but I'm not scared of that. On Lane Guide, just buy the online version. You don't need to buy the DVD or CD. Just buy the online access. That's all you need. Okay? And, all right. Reggie drinking some of the health food. I went to Juice Land today and got a big thing of juice. All right. All right, Cheryl, good. Make sure you connect with me. All right. The next steps after buying a non-performing notes. That's another webinar. All right, so stay tuned. I'm not going to spend here all night on that. All right. All right, everybody, since there's not really any other questions, we'll wrap it up for the evening. Glad you guys, this was helpful. Go ahead and connect with me there and on Vimeo as well so you can access the videos. So otherwise, have a, as we get rock and rolling, if you're going to plan on attending, coming to Dallas, please let me know. ASAP, we are filling up fast. Dallas, Texas, February 5th to the 8th. It's at the Embassy Suites DFW South Airport Hotel. $7.99 2 for 1. That's not on the website. Let me know, and we'll make sure and email you out a special on that. As always, past and present military, Compton. If you take somebody else's workshop and been upset, let me know. We'll comp you in as well. Okay? I'm excited about it. It should be a fun class. Thursday through Sunday. We go from 9 to 5 each day, except on Sunday we'll wrap up at 3. On Thursday, registration opens about 8:15 to 8:30. All right, let's see here. One thing I also have, everybody, I do have a virtual workshop April 17th to the 19th. This will be a 3-day live webinar workshop that will go through information like this for 3 days. It will be recorded. It is the same price. It does include a future workshop. It does include the home study course as well. So if you want to sign up for that, email me and we'll get you signed up for that at $7.99, special price for tonight. We're expecting to do that. We're actually going to go more virtual workshops to make it more available to people. Okay? You're welcome, Kate. Frank, have a nice evening. You're welcome, Ted. Anyway, Lori, that virtual workshop probably would work the best for you then at that point. And Noreen, I look forward to talking to you and say, give me 10, 15 minutes. All right? Awesome, everybody. Thank you again for being on the call. Hope this helps. For those registering now, drop me an email and we'll get you rock and rolling. Take care, bye. Michelle and Drew, I'm going to call you guys tomorrow on the phone here. Or if I get off the phone here with Noreen before too long, I'll give you a phone call. All right.